Hey Pre-Algebra, I want to just give you a quick video to remind you to get your review number 1 turned in. If you didn't pick up your paper packet, then get on Google Classroom and download that. One of the best things you can do, it sure helps me. I want to see your work, so be sure that you are showing your work somehow. If you have access to a printer, print off this page through Google Classroom, or take the paper copy if you picked it up from school. Show out all of your work, marking your answer choices, and then just take a picture of that and send it in to me. Okay, so be sure and get in review number 1. Now for this next week, I'm going to send 2 of these little packets, reviews 2 and 3. And so I'm going to leave camera here in just a second, pull those up, and I'm going to give you some reminders. You also want to be sure that you have your math notes. So if you left those in your locker, you can go to school on the paper packet pickup days and ask permission to go inside to your locker and get those types of things. All right, hang on. I'm going to pull up numbers 2 and 3. I'll find it right here. Here's number 2. So here on number 2, what you'll want to do is, on number 1, it talks about earning $10 an hour. So one of the things you could do is maybe create a little table that goes along with that. You earn $10 for every hour. And when you create a table, what you're doing is making a set of ordered pairs, and then just pick the graph that has the line that goes through those very same ordered pairs. That's number 2. I think I could fast forward through it right here. No, I'm gonna have to go over here. Alright, so for numbers 2 and 3, remember this is just the exterior angle theorem. Look in your notes. Remember these are the remote interiors, and that's your exterior angle. These are just, you're looking for the one that's not a function. Remember, to be a function, you have to have no repeats in the domain or the x value. So you're looking for the one that's not a function. Number 4. I had a typo. I had to go back and fix it. It said dilation, but now I've got it fixed. It says rotation. And you're going to want to pick the answer choice that shows that rotation to get you from here to here. And you can see the prime mark, so you kind of know which one is the V1. Number 5, you're just putting those order least to greatest. Yeah, least to greatest. So just remember that in negative land, the bigger they look, the smaller they are. Number 6. It just gives you a y equals equation. Be sure to go to your calculator, just put that in and take a look at the table in your calculator and just play match up with those that are inside. Number 7, it asks for rate of change. Just remember that's your slope, so pick 2 points and do a rise and run. Number 8, it says their perimeters are the same, so you can see right here they are equal. You got a couple of options. You can, bring this equation over here, get all your x's in the same room, and then solve for x. That's the first way I taught you to do it. Another way is to put this side in y1, this side in y2, graph them, second trace 5, enter, to see where they change or intersect with one another. Or another option is just try these numbers out one at a time into your original equation and see which one makes it true. So you got lots of things that are available for you there. 9. I want you to be careful for this. It's a small print, but that's a question mark here on the 10. So be sure that you understand that the exponent that would replace this question mark is the answer that you're going to want to put here. Remember on your calculators how you can put 125,000 in your calculator and just go to mode and change it to scientific notation. So you're going to have, 1.25 times, and it'll say E, and then put that. And that'll be your answer. Remember, don't put the comma when you type in 125,000 on your home screen. And also, when you're through with this problem, don't forget to go back into mode and put it on normal and take it off scientific notation. You don't want all of your answers in scientific notation. Number 10, it says it's a weather balloon. Now, that looks like a circle, but you need to understand that a balloon is 3-dimensional, so that's really a sphere. So you're looking for the volume of a sphere. And volume of a sphere is, 4/3 power cubed. And so you'll want to use that formula. Hopefully you've got your notes with you and a formula chart. If not, you can always look up, go into the TEA website and look up Star Materials, and you can get you a formula chart off that. Hey, if there's any of you out there that need a formula chart, you let me know. I may just go ahead and take a picture of one and copy that into this assignment, so you can always have access to that. All right, so that's review number 2. I may just stay over here by my computer and kind of orally, you listen up, and we'll talk about review number 3. So you've got all these equations made available to you. Just take a look at those, put them in your calculator one at a time, and then you can go to your table and find out, well, which one of these equations go through both of these ordered pairs. Not just one of them, it would have to be both. Number 2, you've got total surface area of a cylinder. That's going to be S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. Number 3, you've got here these parallel lines cut by a transversal. You've got notes about that. You're picking the one that is not valid, it says. Now, not valid means you're trying to pick the one that's false. Number 4, they ask you to determine the slope of the line. Well, slope, remember, is rise or run. And I see that the dotted line has a point here, and as well as the solid line here and here. Be sure to read this carefully. It says the Yellow Cab Company. So notice right here, you're going to want to take a look at this key to tell you which of those lines to look at. Notice that when we do rise or run, that creates a fraction for us. And what you're going to want to do is convert that fraction to a decimal to be able to enter it in to this little bubble thing to the side. So be sure to convert it to a decimal. I tell you here that line M has a slope of 2.5, and it goes through the ordered pair 413. Remember that it's y equals mx plus b. And then y equals mx plus b, the m is the slope and the b is the y-intercept. So you can try each one of these out. It looks like they all have a slope, y equals mx, the slope times x, and they told you the slope is 2.5. So all of these check out, but they cross the y-intercept or y-axis at different spots. You can try these out in your y equals screen one at a time. Go to your table and pick the one that goes through 413. That's going to be pretty simple for you. Number 6. Just put those in order least to greatest. If I were you, I'd make a third table over here, a third column in your table to put all these numbers in decimal form. Remember, in a percent, it's that much out of 100, so a fraction 40 over 100 here for Mary. Number 7, it's going to take you a little while to do. If I were you, I'd organize it here. You've got 2 loans. You got a 3-year loan and a 5-year loan. You might want to put the 5-year one first and then the 3-year one. Calculate the simple interest. I equals PRT. Remember that I is interest, P is the principal, your main chunk of money. R is the rate. It'll be your percentage rate. Remember to put it over 100. And then the time is time in years. So you're going to have one, the principal and the rate stays the same, but the time will be different. So you'll have a 5-year one and a 3-year one. Calculate the interest for each of those, and then it says, well, how much more would I pay in interest with the 5-year than he would with the 3-year loan? So you're going to find those two interests and then find out how much more one is than the other. I think you know what math to do there. Number 8 is another scientific notation one. We've talked through that. Put it in your calculator and go to mode, put it on SCI, right arrow to put it on science. When you get through with that one, be sure to put it back in normal. Here you've got a transformation, and it shows you what's going to happen. Look, the x stayed the same. You might want to remember that. Number 10 is back up here, area of a triangle. Now watch this one carefully. Area of a triangle is just 1/2 times base times height. But the base and the height have to meet at the right angle. So here's the base and here's the height. That is not the height. You don't have the height number. So you're going to need to go find the height number. And if you look at it, isn't that a right triangle? Can you use the Pythagorean theorem if I give you the hypotenuse in one leg to go find the other leg? Now don't just use the Pythagorean theorem and stop. You need the Pythagorean theorem to help you to find this number and then use the base and the height and 1/2 formula to go find the area. So use Pythagorean theorem first to find that missing leg that is also the height of that triangle. 1/2 times base times height. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. I want you to Call me if you have any questions. I'll be glad to talk to you. Be sure that you're turning in your homework. I have to document that for the state of Texas. You are still receiving grades. Stay home, stay well. I love you. Call me and send that homework in. Thanks. Bye.